The Indians in the Woods and Other Poems by Janet Lewis. Read by Frank Blissett. The Indians in the Woods. Ah, the woods, where small things are distinct and visible, the berry plant, the berry leaf remembered line for line. There are 3 figures walking in the woods, whose feet press down needle and leaf and vine. The wife of Manabozho sings. He comes and goes. There is no rest while he is here or gone. I cannot say that his feet have pressed the leaves he was standing on. He comes and goes, and the maple leaves lie still under the sun. The grandmother remembers. Ah, the cold, cold days when we lived on wintergreen berries and nuts, on caraway seeds. The deer went over the grass with wet hooves to the river to drink. Their shadows passed our tent. Nightfall among poplars. As light grew horizontal, I, among bracken, felt the cold ripples among bracken stems. The quick, dry spider ran across my hand. A song for following gulls. Over the sand hill I follow these. They and their crying change like the seas. I cannot tell you what they have cried, but the place of their going is empty and wide. I follow creeping, tender and slow, watching the sand drift change as I go. The old woman alone. The grandmother picks her way among the stones, She passes deer. Upon brown flanks the balsam needles fall. Ah, stranger than a deer caught in the open sunlight, the old woman. Manibush and the grandmother. With keen ankles dividing weed and weed, he shakes the dry seed from the grass. Fox feet and 5 bare leather paws and small sharp claws accompany him. From the blue spruce tree where the wind blows, I watch the flashing in the grass. He goes away again. In thorny juniper the wind is cold, in thorny juniper. Shadows of stones grow white with evening. The deer among the withered asters. The spider making tight his web. Like summer hay. Like summer hay it falls over the marshes, over the cranberry flats, places where the wild deer lay. Now the deer leave tracks down the pine hollow, petals laid 2 by 2, brown against the snow. Anishnabeg in the cranberry swamp. Autumn bows the headed grass with frost and narrowed stem. Hoarfrost has rutted the swamp. Their baskets fill with berries green as water, their fingers cut with searching the hard grass. Boats gather at the point of land, deep hulls beneath the swing of wide red sails. They bag old quilts and blankets, wake at morning, frost from hip to shoulder, like morning mist. One sits in the woods. Gradual, continual approach of someone through the woods, but no one comes. The thin flame shoots up among grasses. Violets, color of stone, minute and scarce where the great ants climb. The Exodus at evening. Light came sideways into the hole, the badger's children creeping sideways out. Down they went to bushes in the valley, treading silky yarrow. The village. Among gray cones, odor of sweetgrass and warm bodies. Burnt fish about the lukewarm stones and ash. And the night, like ice, cuts color and odor like flowers under a sickle. These bodies, so still in the deluge of fine air. The Rocky Islands. There are wolves cracking dry bones on ledges among sweet-gale bushes. And at night I climb to meet them over the light, still flakes of rock. The threshing wind. Cold and clear weather, and the wind harries us with a continual beating of the grass for some fine seed. The wild rice draws out its pointed leaves with a perpetual flickering as of wings or minnows turning. These hold the hard brown husk that manna bush beat out, drawing the sharp green leaves against his shoulder. That was The Indians in the Woods and Other Poems by Janet Lewis. Read by Frank Blissett.